Because some people actually go behind, and I'm like, I'm afraid I would drop the buzzer or would get lost or something.
I don't know.
So I'm like, I need to be looking at it and going.
So let me ask you a question.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
You know, we're just a few moments away from the brand new Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Mo Rocca is here. Hi, Mo. How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, Mo!
I'm doing great. I mean, it's Justin Timberlake. What's going to happen to him?
It's a brand new song, and it's never been heard.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact, we'll interrupt our time with Mo Rocca to play a song.
Yes.
That
Will
would be
we?
exciting.
Wow.
That would be exciting. And then when people relive the moment, you'll see the tail end of my interview as it breaks in. As they interrupt for the Justin Timberlake release.
It's going to be in the Broadcast Museum before the end of the year. It will be.
And people, what was Mo Rocca talking about? Or who is that guy before Justin Timberlake?
Well, first and foremost, Mo Rocca is a good friend of the show, and we always love when you're here because we always feel like you leave this room smarter and engaged in the need to learn more about everything we talk about. And I think that's a compliment.
Well, it is. And did you complete the assignment from my last visit?
Oh, what was the assignment?
What was the assignment?
You tell me.
Oh, crap. So we have many layers we need to peel off here. Let's start with Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yes.
2 nights ago. Our money was on Mo Rocca.
Yeah.
And but you know what? Sometimes it's not only knowledge that gets you through to the end and to win. It's also timing and what questions you get. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's the buzzer, but it's also knowledge. Because I have to say, I left that taping. And first of all, I just have to say, this was taped a while ago. It is miraculous to me in this day and age that the results didn't leak.
Well, they may have a little bit.
Oh, really?
You didn't hear what happened?
Oh, well, yes,
Okay.
I did. I did.
The Kimmel thing.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So that to me was kind of astonishing, but I had no clue what that final answer was. And I remember as soon as the taping ended, I thought, I don't have to be tortured about this, because if I had an inkling, if I had like 2 or 3 different ideas, if I thought, oh, is it this or that? I had no idea.
What was it? Remind everyone, maybe people who didn't watch, what the answer was and what the question was.
Yeah, the clue was many people blame the 1925 mystery novel by Mary somebody or other for the forward phrase based on a servant killing a nurse. I think it was something like that. I mean, I had no idea.
All right, well, time out for the room. Who has the question?
I have no. What was the category?
Literary cliches.
Go.
Okay.
4 words.
All right.
I need 30 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a forward phrase based on a mystery novel from I think they said like 1925, the 1920s, used to describe, I think, or in response to a servant killing. Oh, here it is. Many mystery fans blamed The Door. Okay, I really misremembered this. Many mystery fans blamed The Door, a 1930 Mary Roberts Reinhardt novel in which a servant kills a nurse, for this forward cliche. Honestly, if any of you know it, say it.
Well, so I saw it, so I know the question.
Any of you guys?
Nope.
No?
No.
And the question was?
What is the butler did it?
Right.
But I didn't even have that reaction. I was like, oh, okay. And I kept thinking the hand that rocks the cradle. And I was like, that's more than 4 words. I had no clue. And all I kept thinking is, oh, literary cliche. I just wish it were seize the day. That's all I was looking for.
That's 3 words.
Exactly.
So I was let them eat cake. I don't know.
Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. A friend of mine wrote and said that they would have answered He Had It Coming.
Okay.
From the musical Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then when I looked back, I realized, okay, I guess servant was, because I think when they write the clues that there's like one word that you really should hone in on.
Right.
And servant, but even then I'm not sure.
The butler did it. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Anyway.
What was the butler did it? Hey, so you have questions, Gandhi, about how to play the actual on-set game of Jeopardy.
I have a million of these questions. My goal is one day to be on Jeopardy. That's all I want to do in my life so badly. So, one, how many do they film in a row? How many episodes?
So in my case, they did 2. They did the quarterfinal and the semifinal in the same day. This is an business schools should send students to study how this show operates. I'm telling you, it is such a smooth operation. I'm not surprised that people stay on staff there for 20, 30 years. I mean, it's like a really, it appears to be a really happy place to work, very efficiently run, very smooth. But anyway, yeah. So in my case, it was 2. But I think for the syndicated, the regular Jeopardy, I think he does, I don't know, I think he might do 4 in a day.
Wow.
And how tricky is the buzzer? Because you see people holding it and they're like,
Yeah. So the buzzer, here's the trick about the buzzer. If you buzz in too soon, you freeze for a quarter of a second, which is actually a long time.
Yeah.
And so you have to wait until he finishes giving the clue. And then a light comes on. The problem is, it seems to me, and I think Lisa Ann and Katie, who were the other 2, and Lisa Ann won, I think they probably agree with this. If you wait for the light to go on, you're already late. So you have to sort of, what I was doing was reading the clue along with Ken, because it's up there, obviously, and then anticipating sort of the cadence of his voice, that when that last word is sort of going to land and then the light is going to go on. Boom. So then that's what I was doing. I could be wrong. Now, my greatest disappointment, it really is that I think I was dressed really well, and I think my hair looked really great, but I had
awful.
like
I love
that.
it.
I had like that. What is it? The thing they used to call it, like the white guy overbite dancing. Like the I had that.
It's the white guy overbite dancing.
Yeah, I had that. Like I was going
nerdy.
you were making that
and it looked, and I thought that is so unattractive. And Lisa Ann and Kate, and they also, and I was like this with my buzz, like, and it looked so good.
You're biting your lip.
Yeah, I was biting my lip, and then Katie from, she's a sports person. She did the thing like behind the back, like she was like, "What is carbon?" Like, radical. And Lisa Ann also had it like really cool and chill, because some people actually go behind, and I'm like, I'm afraid I would drop the buzzer or would get lost or something.
I don't know.
So I'm like, I need to be looking at it and going.
So let me ask you a question, because I was on The Weakest Link back in the day.
Oh.
I was voted off first.
Goodbye.
Let me tell you, when the lights come on and it's hot up there, whatever, some kind of like nerve hits you where you just freeze and you get like, I don't even know how you get the answers out.
It's like being in an airport. Your IQ level goes down.
Seriously.
Is that true?
Weird things happen mentally. So some things go into slow motion.
Yeah.
So for instance, when I had a dramatic, I would say, daily double towards the end, and I could see that it was at a lower dollar value, which is one of the reasons I was willing to bet it all, because I thought it's not going to be that hard a question comparatively. And the answer, I mean, I feel like it's been on long enough. I'm not spoiling it for people, because I know some people find it on Hulu, but the answer was Ken Burns. And I've watched most of the Ken Burns, and Ken Burns is very famous. But when his picture came up, it was a video daily double. In that 10th of a second, I panicked, because I went, I know who this is, and I can't remember. And I can tell you all the steps I went through in less than a second to come to the answer. It's really interesting. So visual cues come on. So when they said Ravel's Bolero, it was made most famous under the classical music category. They said it's made most famous for this Dudley Moore movie. And I immediately remembered that only last year my partner and I had watched 10. I'd never seen the movie 10, because when I was growing up, it was too racy for my parents wouldn't allow me to.
Bo Derek.
Yeah. And because I might otherwise have said Arthur, just if they had said, a Dudley Moore movie. And but anyway, and maybe so things like that happen. But you're right that you do freeze.
It's like you shut down.
Well, coming up, I want to play you the sound of Danielle.
No,
on the weakest link.
Don't do that.
You all the weakest link. Goodbye.
Mo's gonna think I'm a real moron.
And I want a total fresh perspective on what it's like to be backstage at Jingle Ball, because Mo Rocca was there, and I want to hear. Don't tell me now. I want you to tell us when we come back, because I want to hear what you saw and what you felt back there, because it's an interesting place to be, and not many people are allowed to be there.
Well, I'm glad we have a little time so I can figure out how to state this diplomatically.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Unleash the beast.
Here, push that button right there. Push that button. Oh, there it is. I tell you what. Let's play the new Justin Timberlake song.
Oh, it's happening now.
But
okay.
I want you to announce it.
Okay.
Have you ever been on the radio? Have you ever done like a
breaking
radio
news?
show with music?
No, and I've never done a music breaking news alert.
Okay,
also.
well, it's not really that. You get to intro the song. You only have 9 seconds.
Okay, 9 seconds.
It's the brand new Justin Timberlake song called Selfish.
Okay, and so I've got 9 seconds to do it.
Are you ready?
Sure, and I
Go.
should, okay.
9 seconds.
Okay, so here it is, folks. It's happening. It's Justin Timberlake. He's being generous. He's being selfless by giving us Selfish.
Whoa!
Look at the song that Mo Rocca brought us today, the world premiere of Selfish from Justin Timberlake. You hit it on that intro.
Oh, well, anytime I introduce a Justin Timberlake new release, I want to make sure that it goes very smoothly.
And you did. That was beautifully done.
And it would have been, for me to talk over his intro, right? His lyrics would have been, well, selfish.
I know. Exactly. So, real quick, Danielle on
Please don't play this.
The Weakest Link.
So bad.
I won't play it if you don't want me to play it.
It's because it's the easiest question in the world, and I got it
And
wrong.
you froze.
Yeah.
In math, how much is 2% of 100?
I'm so bad at math.
No, 2. Jeff, the medical
That was
condition
someone else.
bradycardia occurs to which human organ?
The heart.
Correct.
Thank you.
What is the brightest star in our solar system?
Twinkle, twinkle.
No, the sun.
You should get points for creativity, Danielle. Twinkle, twinkle. Come on.
The star that's brightest is the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
It is pretty bright, isn't it, Mo? Come on.
It is very, very bright. Listen, but you went in there expecting the bradycardia question.
Thank you.
That's why you were thrown. That's why you were
Just tell
thrown.
you something. They told us to study New York trivia. They said it was going to be an all New York trivia show. So I said, okay, so I studied a whole bunch of New York trivia. I'm the only one that didn't get the New York
You know what we're
trivia
going to do?
questions.
We're going to give you a New York trivia contest.
please don't. It was
hey,
a
by
long
the
time
way,
ago.
can we go back to the Justin Timberlake song? There you go. Right out of the box. Here he is. He's been through a lot of weird stories of late. Dealing with his relationship back in the day with Britney Spears and this and that. And he sort of disappeared into the bushes for a few minutes. He comes back out with this album.
Mm-hmm.
Care to comment? I mean, it's interesting what these artists do. And, I don't know.
Well, I love Justin Timberlake, and that seems like classic Justin Timberlake to me. I don't think there was anything like crazy different about it, but I like that.
Yeah, we like it. Yeah. And Mo Rocca announced it.
I
There you
didn't.
go.
Probably the best part.
He is a crazy talented guy.
Very
Justin
much.
Timberlake.
Yeah.
And I have missed him, right? Because I think he's kind of one of the closest in terms of multi-talented, like a Sammy Davis Jr. He's kind of crazy how talented he
he
is.
Oh,
is.
he is.
Absolutely.
He is. He dances, he sings.
He's going to be on
That's
SNL
funny.
this weekend. I cannot wait.
Where, huh?
Yes.
Oh,
Whenever he does SNL, it's always the
amazing.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he'll spend a lot of time with Fallon because they're best friends.
Right.
Anyway, so there you go. We'll play it
They're
again in a
great
few minutes.
together.
So, Jingle Ball, Madison Square Garden. Of course, Mo, of course, representing CBS Sunday morning. They're doing a segment about music and whatever.
About you.
Is it okay to talk about that?
Well, I mean, let's see how it goes. When we do the interview with you, then we'll see, what direction the segment goes.
Okay, we have, exactly. Okay, can I just say, so I grew up watching Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning, since I was. It's in my opinion, best on television, the best. And the stories are just so well written and curated, and the pace of the storytelling is just perfect. And having Mo Rocca on there doing it, I'm going to butter your biscuit, is just an amazing thing because you really fit that show more than great can fit. All right, whatever that means. Okay. So I'm like, they said, we may do a story about you and your career, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. There. They bring their cameras to Jingle Ball to get the ball rolling. Yeah. So Mo Rocca backstage with crazy Jingle Ball backstagery going on. What's it like being back there when you're just observing like you were doing?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, and this is I hope this doesn't bore people. It shouldn't, but what struck me first and foremost is the love for you. I'm serious, because obviously your position in the industry and in this ball, I mean, the comfort that everyone has with you. So I wanted you to be a little bit more of a diva. I mean, to throw your weight around a little bit. But you're there to work. I mean, your dressing room, I mean, you should have demanded more. I mean, this is like, you should, seriously, you should run for office. Because with a dressing room like that, people would say, well, I know my taxpayer money is not going to waste. I mean, you're about the business. And it's and it's true. I mean, you were excited excited about Cher. You were like boyishly, like really excited, like about Cher. And I unfortunately was not there for that moment when the Cher happened. But I did get to meet Sabrina Carpenter, and I forget how young some of these pop stars are. I was like, "Oh, Elvis, this is so wonderful. Is this your granddaughter?"
Thanks, Mo.
I should have said daughter. The point
Niece
was
works.
her youth, not your age. Not your age. She could be my granddaughter. So,
But what about overall, like being backstage at a garden show, watching all the moving parts? It's really, I'm still fascinated. It happens and it works for some reason.
yeah, it is. It's amazing that this entire sort of almost factory-like, all the different moving parts can be put into this arena, right? In a matter of probably a day, I don't know, 2 days. I don't know how long they were setting the thing up. How long did they take to set this thing up?
They're already setting up for next year.
Oh, they're okay. Right.
They build set design off.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
bring 'em
right,
in.
right.
Yeah.
But
Trucks.
the load in, it was pretty amazing. And then that area we went for the photo ops with the fake subway car. I mean, there's just all these little things happening.
Right.
Felt like I was a little bit like in Santa's workshop.
And
a
you
little
were
bit.
in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, of course, Mo did a few question and answers sessions with the camera with me. And I'm like, God, Mo, you know how many people are going to be here tonight? And here's Mo Rocca. I don't want to know. Don't say one word. He's one of those interviewers. He doesn't want to know any answers until he asks you for them.
I like that.
Well,
And so he walked to the end of the hallway and ignored me, turned his back to me for like 20 minutes.
I did turn my back to you. It's
weird.
Yes, because we need some drama. No, that it's not because I want to wait to ask the question. It's I don't want you saying anything of value off camera.
Me? I never say anything of value anyway. So you're safe.
I just don't want that because if it doesn't happen on camera, well, what's the point?
Oh, that sounds, that sounds like Scary's philosophy.
So, remember the Madonna movie? She was in her kitchen fighting with Warren Beatty. Yeah. And she says, there's a camera crew coming. And he says, well, if it doesn't happen on camera, I guess it doesn't happen, does it? I'm like, wow.
He was being so sarcastic to her.
I guess so. Well, because I am the Warren Beatty of Sunday morning.
Okay. There you go. Let's talk about Mobituaries, the most fascinating take, I believe, on history. Looking at the people, studying them, and fads and pop culture items that have left us, they deserve recognition and a deep dive. And you do it beautifully on your podcast.
Oh, thank you. We just finished the 4th season, and I'm happy with how it went. Our last episode was on LaWanda Page, if anyone remembers the show Sanford and Son, which was in the 70s, a long time ago, but she was hysterical, really funny. But she had this whole other life before she played Aunt Esther, who was sort of the Bible-toting kind of antagonist of Red Fox's character. She had been a really great and really raunchy stand-up.
Right.
And kind of pioneering. And there were these things called party records in the 70s and 80s, primarily in the 70s and back in the 60s. A lot of them were black comics who did these albums because maybe they weren't accepted into major venues, and people would take these albums, oftentimes wrapped in brown paper because they were so X-rated, but so funny. And you can find LaWanda Page's bits, her comedy bits online, and they're really great. They really hold up.
If you watch Sanford and Son reruns, and a lot of people don't, I watched it when it was they were new episodes.
Yeah.
LaWanda Page was great because she would give him hell. We got great text coming through. I'm late to the parties. Elvis going to be on CBS Sunday Morning. We don't know yet. I love CBS Sunday Morning. My mom watches it. Now I watch it. Sunday Family Tradition. I love Mo Rocca. I didn't even hear you say who you were interviewing, but I knew his voice. Mo ran over my foot at the 2000 RNC, and I'm still waiting for an apology.
What?
He was a producer for ABC.
You were a producer for ABC. Well, I was a CBS, so I was just doing the bidding of my corporate masters.
Love Mo. Listen to all of his podcasts in one sitting. Look at that. Jane Pauley is the GOAT. There you go. I love Mobituaries. Shout out to Mo. People are loving that you're here, and you do have a voice that is easily recognizable.
Yeah, but when I ran for president of student government, I'll never forget in high school that one of the other candidates said, when they were addressing the entire school assembly, we were doing our campaign speeches, he said, because if you were elected president, you would do the morning announcements on the PA system.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, I'll never forget Ryan Knoll saying, let's face it, guys. I mean, there's just one voice you don't want to have to hear every morning.
Oh, God.
Ryan
And
Knoll.
I remember thinking that's really funny, and it's kind of true. I'm not sure, it was a little nasal, like, good morning.
Wait, did you win?
I didn't win.
Damn
yeah,
it, Ryan.
Well, then they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they brought me down with that. That was my
They brought you down with humor.
Wow. I wish we could bring.
that was my terrible New Hampshire primary.
I wish we could bring him down that easily these days. Hey, I asked this to the room yesterday. I'm going to ask you: did you ever have a teacher write "he talks too much" on your report card?
Oh yeah.
See, I think we all did. We all have that in
Yeah.
common. What do you think the commonality is all about? What's that connection?
Well, it doesn't surprise me that we all had that. I think it's people who want to perform who are. I mean, listen, I had it so bad that my parents were called in, and that was in elementary school. And then my father said, even at the time I was, I guess, 12 years old, I remember how I recognized how odd this was, that the school counselor had finished explaining to my parents with me present why my acting out in class was a problem. And my father turned to me and he said, you don't want to be the class clown. You don't want to be the class clown unless you grow up and make a living at it.
Yeah,
and
you go.
But I really could not believe that my father said that in front of the school counselor.
Well, I know, but that was a beautiful thing your father said.
Yeah.
The question was, if your teacher wrote they talk too much on your report card, what do you now do for a living was the question. And the answer is, of course, texting in. It was fascinating. And, of course, all the... Oh, wait, hold on. We have Marnie, the person you ran over at the RNC.
Stop it.
I got breaking news. Hold on. Marnie, say hello to the foot roller, Mo Rocca.
Hi, Mo Rocca.
Hi, Marnie. Before we get into this, I just want to make sure, has the statute of limitations passed? Because otherwise I'm going to have a lawyer call in.
Yes.
Okay.
24 years. 24 years. I waited for this moment. I'm getting it. It's all good. The foot is okay. I've gone on to do great things.
Well, he has not apologized.
He hasn't.
Well, but the only thing is...
Oh, that's true.
I do want to apologize. I just want to make sure that doesn't make me culpable. How are you feeling now? Do you have any neuroma, any kind of what's going on with your foot right now?
The pinky toe is a little crooked, but other than that, we're okay.
And I was there either for Comedy Central. Yeah, I must have been there for Comedy Central, not for CNN. Yeah, so
correct.
Right. And did I run over it? Was I in a golf cart, or was I?
You were in a golf cart, and you looked like a little kid that was just getting the first toy he's ever gotten.
That's
and
him.
Going crazy through Philadelphia.
And I do remember this because I remember that in that campaign. It was Bush Cheney. This was the Republican convention, and everyone kept talking about how Cheney had, this is when the word gravitas kept coming into the conversation. They said, oh, he has gravitas. And I remember chasing after him in a golf cart saying, is it a meat-based or a cream-based gravitas that you have?
Oh, Mo.
And I bet that's when I ran over your foot.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Right, thank you.
You ran off the road on that one.
Marnie,
Well, there you go. I don't hear an apology, but I guess we're okay.
Barney, my condolences on your pinky toe. But I also think that could be interesting. You have how Ellen Barkin has kind of a crooked smile and it's sexy. Marnie, I think your askew pinky toe is kind of hot.
I'm sure it is.
You do?
There you. He does.
There's probably a
I
feet
think-
finder community that's all about that.
It's true.
Yeah.
This is better than an apology. Marnie, thank you so much. And there you go. Hey, speaking of, what are your feelings about Jon Stewart coming back a day a week on the show, the Daily Show?
I am totally fascinated by it. I think he's great, and so I think I think it's especially great that he's also going to be executive producing, which he did the first time around. He co-executive produced and then executive produced. But as good as he is on camera, he's also a real vision guy, and so I think he'll take the show and make sure that it's that it fits the moment.
Mo, we love it when you're here, and it's never enough time spent with you.
This is
Thank
great,
you for
Elvis.
coming in.
And everyone, we will announce a date. Get set for Elvis on CBS Sunday morning.
Well, no, hold on. You haven't done the interview. What if the interview just falls flat and it's just crap and there's nothing to use?
We'll fix it in post.
We love Mo Rocca.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.